Generally works better when you turn the camera on, huh? There we go. Alrighty. Am I drifting or is the camera drifting? Hello, Deanna. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Something is shaking. Is my desk just shaking? I don't know what's going on. Anyways, okay. We got one guy left. I didn't want to start like a big project tonight. I just kind of wanted to wrap these guys up so that they're done. So let me actually pull up Magneto's colors real quickly. Pop this open. I can make this smaller. Magneto goes all the way down there. Awesome. Yeah, here we can take a look at some things I chipped away at between meetings today, for starters. So, these are all, well, that's very dark. There we go. So these are all primed up and the sides varnished. I didn't give them like 100% smooth, but whatever, it's smooth enough for what I care about. Just quick, easy bases. For Sir Kay, this is Sir Kay's base. I might put snow or something on there. Nice. Just pro tip on Luke Cage. Just stop watching at the midway point of the first season and then imagine that it ends there, because that's the high point. Like the first half of the first season of Luke Cage is maybe like the best Marvel TV, and then the second half of the first season is god awful because they get rid of. I don't spoil anything. So things happen, and then it's not as good anymore. Yeah, so I sculpted this some rock to extend off the normal base. It looks okay. It'll look fine when there's paint on it. And then I added a little chalice, because the Camelot thing came with chalices, and a little skull. And I'll probably put fishes or something over here, because I got a whole bunch of fishes. Because this is gonna be a resin pour. Because everybody loves a good resin pour, right? Right. Okay. Anyways, let's do some actual painting. I'm mostly happy because like I've been having a lot of trouble with like my plinths, like the Taro Model Maker ones. I haven't even been painting just because like they look pretty good out of the box generally. But like because I've been having issue with plinths for like when I prime them and paint them and varnish them, they get gritty and then like they'll collect dust really easy and it's hard to get them clean again. So I just did really long and heavy spray of my airbrush, and I used the Vallejo Mecha primer instead. And it seems pretty good. Feels nice and smooth in the hand. It's a little shiny. I might matte them down some. I use some satin varnish over it. But anyways, let's paint Magneto. Yes, resin. Why yes, resin? Okay, just resin is lit. Yeah, let's see. I mean, not much has happened since yesterday. Easy day at work. Ran an interview. Got a pull request out. All that good stuff. Tomorrow, Anna was able to snag a reservation to a restaurant we like. So, from a friend who ditched it. And there's Po Boy, the boy, hanging out in the background. Coming to say hello, wondering who I'm talking to. Let's see. So he is red. Red and purple. So let's paint red and purple. Let's time together ever so slightly. Okay. Yeah. So next time I stream might be Wednesday. Hopefully we'll start like a actual project then. Worst case, we will, I don't know, work on some basing for the Black Knight thing since that's still going. Or I guess worst case, we'll finish this guy because we'll see how far we get on him today. What else is going on? Ignis Art's releasing 2 miniatures tomorrow. It's like a cat sorcerer wizard and a chicken sorcerer wizard thing. They showed the sculpts today, and there's a little like too much fur sculpting on the cat. But I want to see it from a couple more angles. What else? Eric Swinson posted on his Instagram today like a photo of how he takes photos. It's like how he gets the super black background, and it's pretty interesting. I'm probably gonna take a trip to Blake's and get some foam core, because basically what he did is he uses black foam core. Has one piece, kind of the background piece that is the background of the image, is angled forward so that it's not reflecting any light from above. And then he builds a little hut around that so none of the light that he's using to light the mini can light up that background either. So that's how he gets a super black background in his photos while still having the miniature properly exposed. So I think my photos have been getting a little better, but still a ways to go with figuring out the lighting and getting that all set up well. More fire, all the fire. Let's see. Brought up a question. What's the question? All ambient shadows. I mean, that's a good question, right? Ideally, you want to show, I feel, like your paint job as accurately as you can. And I think a large portion of that is trying to eliminate as much shadow on the miniature as possible and have it as evenly lit as possible, right? Because ideally, you are painting the shadows. Um, I don't necessarily know if you have to get rid of all of them. Um, but yeah, like my personal feeling is like I'm not a huge fan of the whole like uh, dramatic lighting on miniatures and filters and stuff like that. I feel like that's, I don't know, that's not my cup of tea. Um, like I think a really good example of showing the paintwork rather than lighting is like Dave Cowell's Maria Takuchi, I think Takeuchi, something like that from Neko Galaxy, the 75 mil figure holding the sword with the backpack, and she's standing in front of a garage, and there's like a spotlight projected on her, and she casts a shadow on there, and like in order to get a picture of it to actually show that paint job, he had to basically eliminate all the shadows so that he could show the shadows that he painted, because that's the important part for us. Yeah, yeah. Like I think ideally try to get rid of as many as you can, but obviously there'll always be some. And like that's one of the challenges of this medium, right? Is your work's going to be viewed under or can be viewed under a variety of lighting situations, which is why it's important to not always just look at your work under a big old giant day lamp light. But like when I'm working on a longer project, I'll often just kind of look at it during the day and take notes of like what looks good, what doesn't look good, so that when I paint next, I can keep that in mind. Uh, what do you mean by pump up? Like brighten them or darken them? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all the more contrast stuff, and then like something I do want to start experimenting with more is like cast shadows and such, because going back to Eric Svensson, he does that quite a bit on his work, and it looks really neat. And someone I was in one of the Discords I was in was messing around with photos today, and I think one thing that we run into issues a lot with taking photos, like there's lighting is one thing, but focus is another. Because a lot of times we're taking pictures with our phones and just kind of uses like automatic settings, and we want to like get close to our miniatures so they fill up most of the frame, right? But generally, especially if you're using something that doesn't have a lot of settings that you can control, it's better to try to take the photo a little bit farther away and then crop in after the fact. And the reason for that is so there's basically with photos, it's like 3 ways you can control the depth of field, right? So on like this camera, it has a big old aperture, so that means like the opening in the camera is huge, which means it lets in a lot more light, so it can take light in darker photos or darker situations and still be properly exposed. But when you have a more wide open aperture, you also get a shallower depth of field, which me from 9 years ago, I don't know, when was it? Let's see, it's 2022, so no, not 9 years ago, 8 years ago? Whenever I was taking optics in high school, I could explain it to you then, but right now I can't really explain that, why that is, but that's something with light and funkiness and lenses and all that good stuff. So you can if you have a wide open aperture, you'll get a shallower depth of field. If you tighten up the apertures, which means like getting a higher number essentially, so like going from f2.8 to f16 or whatever, you get a larger depth of field. Another way to control depth of field is how close you are to your subject. So if you are very close to your subject and you have a shorter focusing distance, then you'll have a shallower depth of field. And vice versa, if you're farther away from your subject and have a longer focus distance, you will have a larger depth of field. And the last way is kind of hand in hand with that one, which is a wider lens. So a shorter lens, like if you're looking at the numbers, it's like 28 millimeter, will have a larger depth of field than a tighter lens or more telephoto lens, like a 200 millimeter. And again, that's all just to do with optics. So you can control those 3 to get the depth of field you want. And generally, we want the whole miniature in focus. And if you're really up close to it, you'll lose focus on part of it. Like you'll have the face in focus, but if they have their hand reach out, that'll be out of focus. Like sometimes maybe you want that for like an artistic purpose, but again, like you want to show the whole mini for what it is, right? Like we're mini painting first, we're photo taking second in this hobby. Yeah. So that is our photography lesson for today. So it's a purple thing. Yeah, we're getting there. One of my apparently the current X-Men run is pretty good. Basically, like the X-Men have like gone like screw you humanity, we're gonna go do our own thing now because they got tired of humanity just constantly killing them and hating them. So they like started their own society on their own island, and like have even brought back like dead X-Men and dead villains, and they all kind of work together now. Um, but apparently, the event this summer is like the Eternals think that uh, the mutants are deviants, so they're gonna ruin everything. So my friend is very sad. Exactly. And I mean, can you blame them? I don't know. The X Men are always just like trying to do their own thing, or like get along with everyone, and everyone's like, "No, we hate you." Like, well, yeah, we're just gonna code everything. Yeah, it's been a while since I've read like a Marvel comic run. I know that the Immortal Hulk is supposed to be very good. I heard a lot of good things about that one. Apparently, like the latest Doctor Strange event's pretty good too, like the death of Doctor Strange. And I know there's someone who keeps hounding on Moon Knight, but they're obsessed with Moon Knight, so I don't know how unbiased their opinion is. Yeah, like the last comic run I was really, really into was the Matt Faction run of Hawkeye, which was very good. But that was also a very long time ago. Let's see. his belt is also purple. I was watching a video before streaming today on more like urban planning and that kind of stuff. And it was on how a lot of cities are experimenting with banning cars from certain parts of the city. And basically the result is transit's able to run more reliably, which is an obvious kind of thing because it's not dealing with cars anymore. But also basically they don't see any increase in traffic in like adjacent streets. Mostly because like the added cars there don't impact things too much. And also B, people choose not to drive as much because, hey, there's better options for getting around now than using your car. There. Is neat. Basically the exact opposite of what you see when they add more lanes, which just leads to even more congestion. Let's get some sunny skin tone out. So we're going to do our normal red painting where we over highlight so it starts to look a little bit too pink, and then we'll be glazing over everything. So hopefully it all works out. Right now things look kind of dark and muted. So hopefully we can get this to a good place. King Maulg. I'll have to look up who King Maulg is. Let's take a little detour. King Maulg. Oh, okay. The guy from Figon. Nice. Are you getting like Figopedia and such as well? I really want to get some more of his figures, or I guess any of his. I don't think I've gotten any of his specific figures yet. Here, I'll pop this open in just a second. Doot 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 doot. Yes. Here we go. Nice. There's some like naked people on here, so I guess that's your warning. Yeah, but I keep going back and forth on if I like Petar or not. Peter. Oh, nice. I think overall, like, he's a fun barbarian, but I feel like he's a little stiff. But I mean, I like Rocco a lot. This is the one Sergio's been working on and doing a really good job with. And of course the, where's the normal, the Minotaur? Which actually, Noble Knight has some Vigon minis in stock as well. So that's something to keep in mind. They don't have the book or anything, so it's still worth ordering from Figon, and it's still cheaper to order from Figon if you're ordering multiple things. But if you ever like want one of his minis, Noble Knight might have it. But yeah, good site. Love their stuff. The Walrus and Hippo. Very cool. But yeah, it's a good book. I hope you enjoy it. I think it does a good job of kind of explaining concepts pretty concisely. I would say like sometimes the language is like a little. Have I ever tried Abyssal? I have not, but I saw that they were releasing a new figure soon. It's like a plague doctor kind of lady, right? Someone was sharing that somewhere. I think it was Mill. Yeah. Is there any pictures of the actual miniature? Because I've only seen the concept art. Here, I'll pop open here a couple of things that are on my radar. So there's Abyssal. How do you spell Abyssal? Because I spelled not the right. Okay, Abyssal. So there's that. And then there's Ignis is also releasing something. And then Limbo Division is also releasing something, and it's very silly. So I'll bring those up because why not? It's Ultimate Cheesecake is what Limbo is. Yeah, it's not out yet, but it's out soon. I know the concept art is out. I've heard good things about Abyssal though. Like, I haven't heard anything bad. Limbo Division, not Limbo Miniatures. Oh, it's not on their Instagram. I guess it's on their Facebook. People not keeping their socials up to date, making my life harder. So I have to go to Limbo Division. Okay, here we go. We got a few things. So we got boop. Here's Abyssal. So this is the thing that Crypt is talking about. Wow, that's very small. Here, can I? There we go. That works. Could be neat. I need to see what the mini looks like first. But yeah, only 80 copies. Yeah, I've heard good things about their stuff. They make some cool things. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything from them yet. Nothing's like grabbed me. Um, but it's all neat. Oh, this didn't go to Ignis. Here, let me pop up an Ignis. Here we go. So here's the ones I was talking about. The cat sorcerer and the chicken wizard. Um, I like the face and the hat. Like just the paw and the legs. Like I'm not a huge fan of that kind of sculpted fur. Um, maybe I could just like sand it down a little bit, but I don't know how that'll look. Or like fill it maybe. But yeah, the chicken's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to see how much they are. Um, and then let me just make sure I'm not doxing anyone. Okay, this should be fine. Here's Limbo Divisions, new minis. They are excessive. This one's pretty cool. I like this one a bit. The other one's too much, I think. But these are up for pre-order on the 15th. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you haven't seen Limbo's stuff before, here I can pop open Limbo, their main site. Yeah, if you think like Kingdom Death is cheesecake, Limbo's more so. So I do have these little bunnies. Um, what is this guy called again? The guy I'm showing right now, or Chunky Bunny? Um, but yeah, here, yeah, it's excessive. This is Limbo Division 209. I'll drop a link into the chat in a second. But yeah, I like some of them. Like I like this Holly and Coney one. I think it's cool. I have this one sitting in my pile. Their casting quality is pretty good. The resin's kind of stinky, but it's clean. And I've been debating getting the Talon Squad for a while, and then I kind of like the Poofy Jacket Lady, but we'll see. I don't know. Sometimes it's a little too much cheesecake. Yeah, let me grab this. The wheel one's cool. The issue is oops, as we knock Magneto over. Good thing he's PVC. The issue is they're like limited run. Okay, they've done reprintings of a couple of them, but once they're sold out, they're kind of sold out. They are talking about doing STLs for some. So if you got a 3D printer, yeah. What I do want is more cheesecake dudes, because those are fun to paint. But so far, it's only really like the few Kingdom Death pinups. Oh, I need to see how much Vince's giant costs from Creature Caster. Because that's one of the first like large Creature Caster models that I don't. Well, one of the first large Creature Caster models that I like, I will say. Lots, yeah, that's what I imagined. I'm guessing it's 200 or something stupid. Okay. I mean, for how big it is, and for the casting quality, um, like it's a lot, but it's not like the end of the world. Like Dragon Head Models is up there for the larger ones. Oh we totally forgot about this other arm. Oops, let's do that. Speaking of tracks, he just went online, which is why my phone buzzed. Yeah, I think I could only ever justify buying one of those large creature caster models if I was sure of myself in entering like Resin Beast or something like that. The bunnies. Yeah, they when they were designing those, they like if you scroll through like their Facebook page, you can see that they were toying with different fur, and they had one that was like slightly less textured fur, but they went with the more textured one because everyone was like, "Oh, I want that for dry brushing and stuff," and I was like, I don't need to give my overly sculpted fur and hair rant again. Why not both? I mean, that's what Kingdom Death had recently, the Pasha mini. She might still be available. And I've seen some good results from the orange photo resin from people, so might be safe to get. Let's see. Oh, and that's my color reference. There we go. Now we're good. It's very nice that he's basically just two colors. He is just purple and red. So maybe we can actually finish him tonight. We'll see. His base is going to take a little bit longer than Wolverine's, although probably not too much. All right. Good night. You dry brush the base and glaze in more colors. Yeah, basically that's all I did on the Wolverine base. It took like 10 seconds. That's what I do with most of the Marvel United bases. Just like very quick and easy. Don't want to spend too much time on them. These are supposed to be fun little projects. Okay, it's 10:20. Switch into the smaller brush. Reduce it even a little bit. After we do the airbrush glaze, I'll probably come back in and go in with some white on some parts with this for like specular highlights and such, but I don't really want to do that before the glaze because they'll probably just end up pink and look kind of weird. So, or it'll definitely end up pink rather. Speaking of, let's not do it just yet. Okay, let's go airbrush crazy. Definitely gonna want the mask. Definitely gonna want to turn this on. Trying out that mix of fluorescent red and Chimera's the red. Let's see how it goes. Okay, thanks for hanging out, Sammy. Well, at least finish the red before I log off. It's looking a lot more vibrant. Okay. I'm not gonna dump the airbrush just yet. We're gonna go in and tweak some things with the brush now. Gotta let the room air out a little bit before I take on my mask though. So I'm gonna hear that as for starters. Okay. Like that as a start, but let's tweak a few things on him. Let's get out. Medium. Get out some white. Okay, room's aired out enough now. Hi, Paul. You want up on the bed, bud? You want up? You just gonna sit there? You want up? Okay. Okay, little baby man. There you go. As we bump into the desk. Make everybody throw up. Yeah. Sometimes he just wants to be a little baby. But he's got good jumping skills now. Okay. Little stairs. Yeah, I've thought about it, but if I ever get a house, I'll probably get stairs for whatever bed I get. Okay. Now we got that giant white splotch, so we have to make that look a little less terrible. Or try to make that a little less terrible looking. Okay. Getting there. Gonna hair dry real quickly. Bonk the boy. Bonk the boy on the big ol' head. Not a fan of what's going on the side of the helmet, really. almost. Still not quite what I want. Okay, good enough. And don't want to spend for everything these guys. If I were trying to do like display red at MM, I probably would have tackled this differently. I don't know exactly how, but I probably would have. Oh shoot, I just realized that someone messaged me earlier asking me how to paint something and I forgot to respond. Whoops! I should do that after I wrap up. They're asking me how to paint copper or if I had any good guides. Okay, let's actually dump the airbrush out. Blending up shadow color. Maybe. Let's see how this looks. Hello, Mini Scribbler. How are you doing? We're having a quiet Monday painting session of this Magneto. A Magneto Monday, if you will. Damn, that would have been the right way to title the stream. Yep, yeah, this is the last one I have in the core set before the rest of my pledge gets here. So, thought about starting a new project, like a big project today, but wanted to just kind of put a bow on this, get it done, take it easy, all that good stuff. Here, let's fix that little spot where we sprayed the shadow in the highlight, because we're a dingus. Nice. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them. I'm using this Ferox one just because I couldn't get Magneto off the base, so I just find this one a little bit easier for dealing with that, just because you can just put some putty on the little wood thing. But you can, you can do that with the Wrathcore as well. But yeah, I'm very happy with those. Definitely one of my better hobby investments, I think. I'll probably put them up with there with like a vortex mixer in terms of things. It's like you don't need it when you start out, but if you have the extra money for it, you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, it's worth putting down. At least for how I paint, because I like to get my hands all over up on the model, so having that little bar is super handy. And then I like looking at the hobby holder ones and stuff. Like, I don't know, they looked a little bit too stiff and not as nice to hold. I like this one. I do like because it's like big and beefy, and I just like that it's wood. Okay, so is that just the focus? Why is the focus being so weird today? It feels very jarring. Anyways, yeah. It's okay. Gotta chase that endorphin. Them endorphins wherever you can. Get some water. Okay. Maybe. Swallowed the wrong way a little bit. Yes, retail therapy. I made heavy use of retail therapy over the last couple of years. All right, we're gonna deviate a smidgen from using primarily chimeras, just because the chimera purple doesn't have the best coverage. So we're gonna grab some violet though, and then some of this AKT purple. Or maybe we'll just use pure violet for starters. Okay. Yeah. What have you been painting on your Wrathcore? Any fun projects you've been working on lately, Mini Scribbler? Or anyone else hanging out tonight? I know that Mini Mancer Mini Mancer's been working on the Spiragabo. He's watching Luke Cage at the moment. Nice. It's a fun figure. Oh, nice. Is it like one of Ben Comet's casts, or is it a 3D print of it? Either way. Very cool bust. Ooh, fancy. I really hope someday he decides to make more, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay. Yeah. I know, like, someday I'm probably going to cave and, like, pay way too much for an old Spira. But, like, my least favorite, like, I don't think it's, like, unreasonable to pay the amount that they're asking. Like, I don't think it's, like, not worth that much. My, like, least favorite part of the whole process is, like, when the person's like, okay, make an offer without, like, them saying how much they want for it. Like, I've never liked when people do that. It's, I don't know, very annoying. Like, just tell me how much you want for it, and then we use that as the starting point. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna lowball you, and then you're gonna not talk to me again. Yeah. Okay. There's some guy who like buys Spiras and then lists them on eBay at a fixed price for way too much. 200. I'm gonna guess more than that, man. Did you know, dude? Here, Yeah, I would not be surprised if it wouldn't four digits. Here, I'll pull up this bust. Ben Comets. Especially if it has like all the packaging, because if I remember correctly, it had really cool packaging. Oh no, he friggin' removed it from his site. Does Massive Voodoo have? Yes. Okay, Massive Voodoo even has a unboxing. Ooh, there you go. So this is the bust we're talking about. It's a 1/12 bust. Comes in a cool wood box. Awesome. Like, did it come with the stickers too? Because those are great stickers. Awesome art. Really clean cast. A plus all around. Yeah, it says like only 50 millimeters is what they're saying here. 2 inches tall. Yeah, that's pretty tiny. Awesome. Yeah, my sister's a huge fan of Porco Rosso. So at some point, I know you can find an STL of this, but I accidentally just muted myself because I hit the wrong thing. I know you can find a STL of this bus pretty easily now, but it'd be cool to find the original deal. If you just look up like Porco Rosso bust, I've seen it pop up in a few places, but maybe it's been taken down because it's been a while since I've looked for it. But I think one of my friends has it saved in that, if that is the case. In case I ever really wanted to print it and couldn't find it. Because I ever really wanted to paint it and couldn't find it, I guess. Words are hard sometimes. All right, no worries. I'm probably not going to be painting too much longer, just because it's getting late for me. I've been doing decent about keeping a good sleep schedule lately. I've also been trying to be better about not waking up and immediately looking at my phone, because, well, you know, it's not good for your mental health if you do that. Here, let's get a shitty brush we don't care about so we can just jam it in there. Maybe. Let's see. So I popped Elden Ring on for the first time in a little bit today. And I think I might be done with the game. I haven't beaten it, but I think I just might be at my I'm no longer having fun with this game point. Not to say that it's bad or anything. It's a very good game. I just too much for me right now. Too much game. I might jump back into it later, but I'll go back to doing non-video games for a bit for my gaming stuff. Okay. Alright, let's not forget about his non-cape stuff. Like we've already forgotten about his visor. Whoops. Or his helmet. Helmet. That's the right word. Oops. Way out of focus and way off screen. Here, let's fix that. Post like, please be quiet. I am trying to sleep. So we did Wolverine on Sunday, so however long that stream was, like a little bit less than that. It's usually like 3 to 4 hours is how long I spent on these guys. Like I'm not aiming for my best paint job in the world, but aiming for decent. They used to take me a lot longer. Like the core box, I think each one was like 8 hours or something, or the original core box. Yeah, I rely on the airbrush a lot and keep the colors simple. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some that I want to spend a little bit more time on when I get the rest of them. Also, I mentioned this earlier, I think last stream, but I want to experiment with like different ways to clean them up because they're PVC minis. So if you look at him closely, you'll see a bunch of lines and stuff because I got lazy. But I want to mess around because I've seen people use like plastic cement to kind of dissolve the lines and soften some things and get things better. So I want to see if maybe that works for me. So we'll get some sacrificial mutants. Yeah. If you haven't painted any chibis, highly recommend it. I think it's a good like palette cleanser kind of thing. Especially with like the Marvel ones, you can kind of just turn your brain off, pull up an image of the comic book character, like the big child paint jobs, just to get the color scheme, and then go from there. Yeah, PVC. Yeah, it's. I would say like the sharpness has gotten a lot better recently. Like I've seen like what Aeon Trespass Odyssey or whatever that big campaign Kingdom Deathlike board game is called. Those minis are PVC and they look pretty sharp. So I'd say it's come a long way, but like the nice thing about it, it's very durable, so it's great for board games. You can like chuck the minis across the room; they're generally fine. But the detail can be kind of soft, and then if there's any sort of mold lines on it, it's a pain in the butt to clean up. Like you can't just really run your knife along it; it just kind of tears a little bit. Yeah. So I'm excited for more games to start using COcast or something, especially like COcast hard, because it seems like it's good durability, but a little bit easier to clean up and generally better detail. Yeah. For these ones, it's a board game. So like there's actual gameplay elements tied with these. So there's a box. The core box has 8 or 10 in there, somewhere in that ballpark. And then there's the expansions have a varied numbers. It's like anywhere from like 4 to 10, something in that ballpark. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have too many. I may just like give some away at some point. So if there's a B or C or D list mutant that you're a fan of, let me know. Because I don't care much about those guys. I kind of wish I could just like not get the stretch goals box because I don't really care about much of those. Yeah, I mean that's why I got it. Like you can get the core box for like on sale. It's like $15 to $20, and it's like 10 fun chibi minis to paint. The game itself is like it's a neat kind of beer and pretzels game. I'm sure I'll bust it out whenever I have a game night, if that ever happens again. Um, a non D&D game night. Oof. Yeah. I guess yeah, because import and stuff like that. So that's roughly like $40 US, I think. If I'm doing my maths right. I think we're gonna stop before the airbrush stage on this. And I'll airbrush him the next time I paint. I don't know if I will finish him on stream. Kind of just depends on how I'm feeling the next time we stream, and or if I feel like painting him up sometime tomorrow. Yeah, I've heard. So this game's made by Simon or Cool Mini or not or whatever. Um, they just ran the Marvel Zombicide campaign, and apparently the shipping is like a nightmare, like cost wise. Like for some people, it's almost doubling the amount of the pledge. So I think that's why a lot of games Kickstarters are just not happening on the time frame that they said they would. Like Sankokushin or Celestial. So I think shipping is just too much of a question mark right now. Well, shipping plus I guess like factory shutdowns in China. Since they're still, taking COVID seriously, unlike other places. E2406. I don't know if I've heard of E2406, but damn, that's a lot of shipping. How much was that, more than the mini itself? Like cost wise, or is E2406 like an eBay thing, or is it an actual miniature manufacturer? Oh, that's where I've heard of them. Okay, got it. Yeah, because they had that like 3 for 1 sale a little while ago. I was tempted to finally dive into the world of big anime figures and garage kits, but I didn't quite pull the trigger. There's another one that we were all looking at, like LP Craft, I think. LP something. Ooh, very cool. Is it 2B or another character from that game? Which actually, that's another game I should play at some point. Is Nier Automata. I've been kind of bad about playing games for the last few years. Okay. I don't know if one with the big sword narrows it down. Is it the white-haired girl with the bangs in her face kind of dealio? Yeah, so that's 2B. And that's about all I know about Nier Automata. Besides that it has many and many endings, and you can die by eating bad fish. And that's one of the endings. not being super particular about how I paint this cape back here. Just want paint on it. We'll do our best to just kind of hide our crimes with the airbrush later. Yeah, links are allowed. Links are totally fine. Just the normal like don't abuse it and yada yada. But like if just like general thing for everyone, like if you have cool stuff that you're working on and you want to share, feel free to. Gives me something to talk about, which as we know is good because I rarely have anything to talk about and I'll sit here in silence, which I'm sure is not the most exciting thing in the world. And yet you people still watch. Curious. A2. Okay. I don't think that's oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, 2B has the short hair, so if you like look at the related products, the first one, that's 2B with the skinny sword. Very cool. I need to here, let me find the garage kits. Here, give me a couple seconds. Oh, here, wait. Let me disable this from let's see. Is it LEP? LEP. That's the one I'm thinking of. Let me pop these guys open. Sorry, I know this is exciting. LEP kits. Hold up. LEP Studio. Duh. Okay. LEP. Yeah. Facebook hates me. LEP. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's these guys. Or is this the painter? No, it's just the guys. Okay. Maybe. Anyways. Wait. Hang on. I might be wrong. Okay, so it is LEP Studio. Facebook was just being dumb. Okay, here we go. Got it. Got it. Got it. So this is LEP Studio, and they make big garage kits, and they're very cool. They got like a cool Berserk one, and there's one that Keiko, what's his face? I'm blanking on his name right now, but it's Keiko. He's working on this figure right now, and the other one like it, and they're very cool. And I was tempted to buy them, but they're like $200, and I don't think I want to spend $200 right now on a miniature. These ones are like 20 centimeters tall, very big. Yeah, I'll drop the link in the chat. But for anyone who's interested in their stuff, yeah. As we knock Magneto over again. Also, I don't have any music playing for me, so let me fix that. I'll just play that again. Yeah. You can buy like a luxury version that's like in a super fancy box apparently. Yeah, it's a lot of resin, and to get it like so it's not completely garbage when you get it, like it takes a lot of skill to cast it. So definitely not saying it's not worth it, or like they shouldn't be charging that much. Just saying it's a lot of money. Ooh, that's good to know. I'm sure I will cave at some point and like get one of those because I think it'd be a fun challenge to paint something like that big. It would certainly be a much different way of painting. Yeah. Well, if you haven't, here, I'm gonna pull up this guy before I forget. Because if you're not aware of this painter, you should follow him. Nope, that's not the right one. Keigo Murakami. Oh, hey, JT. Thank you very much for the raid. We're looking at expensive things, as we always do. But here, I'll pop open this guy. This is Keiko Murakami. Hey T Gentry, or TC Gentry, how are you doing? Yeah, if you're not aware of this painter, he's incredibly skilled. And he, as far as I'm aware, doesn't use too much airbrush. His painting setup is like the not stethoscope, stereoscope, I think. Um, and he just kind of zooms away, and he's got a really cool Asuka that he's been working on from Evangelion. But yeah. And he does a lot of stuff for like LH Craft, if you're not aware of them. They make some cool figures. And some like tiny little busts that are neat. Yeah, here I'll drop this guy in the chat in case you want to follow him. He streams on YouTube every now and then, so you can see like his setup with like the crazy magnifying glasses and all that stuff. Yeah. There's also a like it'll depend on like how you feel about people kind of making figures of licenses that they don't have the rights to. But there's a 3D sculpt Patreon called Nom Nom Miniatures, New Miniatures, Nom Nom Miniatures. I can grab a link to them as well, but they often release pretty cool anime and game figures. Like this month, they have a Princess Mononoke with her wolf. Yeah. Oh, he's dreaming and he's wagging his tail. Yeah, I don't think they're licensed, which is why they say like, we're giving these away for free. But also, I forgot to be a good host. Let's give a shout out to JT. If you're not following him, give him a follow. Paints cool stuff, has a good community, does fun marble stuff on Fridays. All that good jazz. Yeah. And then for anyone who came over with JT, I'm Topulus, Paint Minis. We're yesterday and today we just kind of wrapping up this Marvel United Core box, just kind of having fun, chilling out, taking it easy. No problem, happy to. Yeah, I paint a variety of things, often like big display miniatures. I can grab a couple in a second. But I'm also probably going to wrap up shortly because it's getting a little late for me. So we will continue this raid party out to someone else. I know Drax is online, so maybe him, because we haven't raided him in a while. Yeah. Here. Here's some stuff we've worked on recently. Let's hope I don't drop anything. One of these days I'm gonna drop something. It's gonna be sad. Yeah. So recently we finished these two figures. Let's not bump that figure off the desk. So cyberpunk bust dude thing, an elf archer lady on a very mossy base, and then a little dwarf miner guy. Yeah. So like to paint all sorts of, thanks JT, all sorts of different scales and such. Because it's fun. Fun to paint all sorts of things. Which is why we were looking at giant anime waifu statues before you guys got here. Thanks, Mini Scribbler. Yeah, our next project that's like not little chibies. It's probably going to be a Big Child Creators figure. Because they got that Facebook thing going on, or Instagram thing going on this month. Yeah, just about 3 years now. I started April of 2019. I guess, so just over 3 years now. And this basically, I was playing lots of Destiny, and then I replaced my Destiny playing with mini painting. So, I played a lot of, I was playing a lot of Destiny. Yeah, I mean, everyone goes at their own pace. I also, I had the benefit of, I did, other arty things before jumping into mini painting, so, had some understanding of color and, control because of, drawing and such. But mini painting is definitely the thing that kind of clicked with me the most, I think. And yes, I almost fell back into Destiny, but I've not pulled the trigger yet because I've heard the new expansion's pretty good. Pulled the trigger. It's funny because that's all you do in that game. Yeah, photography was another big hobby of mine, which you would hope that my pictures of my minis would be better. Working on it. But yeah. It's nice to improve and everything, but most important part is to have fun. And always don't beat yourself up if you're not at someone else's level. It's easy to say that, but I know that I sometimes struggle with that where I'll see people who started at the same time as me or after me and they're improving at a more rapid pace than I am, or painting stuff more crazily than I am and all that stuff. So I know that it can be a challenge to kind of set that aside, but yeah. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like cameras. I've always had I like well engineered things, and cameras I think are definitely one of those things that tend to be satisfying and mechanical. I'm a Canon guy, so this is a Canon M6, and my baby, my boy that I've had for over a decade now. I've had this for over a decade. Well, I'll grab my real baby in a second, but I've had this for a long time, the 5D Mark II. Um, it's still trucking along, still takes great pictures. Autofocus is a little slow compared to the young whippersnappers, but it gets the job done. Um, but I'm a as we know, I'm a bougie boy. So here's my true, well, my photographic baby. My true baby is that baby right there, the little lump. There we go. But yeah, here's my pride and joy. Panasonic's good. Um, this is echt mein Leica. It's a little dusty. Um, yeah, I never would recommend Leica to anyone who's like getting into photography. Um, Leica's a thing that Leica's like a classic car where like it's very uh, fidgety, but they're very fun cameras to use in my opinion. They're rangefinders, which is good for like street photography and such. So my sister has a friend uh, from work and such, um, whose grandpa collected Leicas and had like a box full of old Leicas, and he passed away recently. And he was gonna go home to get said box of Leicas, and then found out that his parents got rid of it. Which is tragic. Yeah. They like sold it to someone for like way under market value. Yeah. Like it's they're fun cameras for like quick shots and like walking around town and travel, which tends to be like what I like to shoot most of the time now. Yep. So I said, damn, that's a rough way to find out that you're an orphan, right? Yeah. And I think like these days, like pretty much any camera from any brand is gonna get the job done. Uh, like it's pretty hard to go wrong. Um, I just like Canon because that's what I've always used. Um, so I got the lenses for it, so might as well use them. Um, but yeah, and then Leica's just my little fancy thing. Yeah, when I was looking to get like a dedicated stream camera because I wanted to stop using my phone for it. Um, I spent a lot of time looking at the options. There was like the Sigma FP, which is like a mirrorless dedicated camera that acts like a webcam thing, but it's overpriced, and then I'd have to get new lenses. Um, I was looking at Sony a lot because I know a lot of people like the Sony stuff. But again, new lenses, and I don't want to deal with a new camera, uh, like learning new menus and stuff like that. Because the nice thing about Canon is like all their menus are pretty much the same across cameras, even after over a decade. Yeah, photography is fun. Highly recommend it as a hobby. There was a very short period of time where I thought about doing it professionally. And I got admitted into the photography program at my college, and then was like, But then I would make no money. And making money is kind of nice sometimes. Although I did think about, there was an even shorter period of time where it's like, what if I was like a photojournalist in like the military or something? I was like, it would be cool. But also terrifying. Yeah. Alright, JT. Thanks for the raid. Have a nice night. And go get some rest. Thanks. Yeah, we're not gonna be painting for too much longer. Oh, it's already we're gonna wrap up shortly. I didn't realize it was already 11:50. I'm just gonna get to a stopping place with making sure everything that I want to be purple has purple on it. We're not gonna blend anything right now. Yeah. So, for those just joining, I generally like over highlight and stuff like that, and then I bring everything back down with the airbrush. So, if you're wondering why things are getting skin tony with the purple, that's why. So I like to use sunny skin tone to mix into my purple for highlights. I'm just kind of being rough with everything, just so I have a place to start from next time I paint. That's a little too rough. Seen any good tutorials for airbrush for stuff? I mean, so anything like Sergio Calvo does is worth a watch or a read. Angel Heraldez as well has some good videos on airbrushing. And then it's worth tuning into Deno's stream for airbrushing. And who else? That's all that I can really think of off the top of my head at the moment. Like Marco Frazzoni also has a decent number of tutorials about the airbrush. So he's worth checking out if you haven't. I think they all kind of, I would say Deno and Sergio kind of approach the airbrush in very similar ways. Basically using it to blend everything together. Anhal, I think, tends to do the opposite a little bit. Like he'll establish tones with the airbrush and then come back in with the brush to sharpen things up. Sergio will do that every now and then. And then who else? And then Marco is very much like use airbrush for speed. So he's got a couple good videos that he's done recently. Speed! Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna do the NMM purple sketching tonight. That's gonna take too long. Okay. That is where we're going to stop for this evening. So we got the red mostly done ish. I think there's gonna be some things I'm gonna change. I mean, he looks fine from that angle, but anywhere else the white looks silly. So maybe we'll change it, or maybe we won't, because we're just gonna post a photo of him like that. So who really cares? But yeah, Space Marine. Nice. What kind of Space Marine did you put together? Here, I'm gonna put away all this stuff while you type that, and then we'll go find someone to raid real quickly, and then I will go to bed as we eat the paint into my chest. A big chunky one. Well, they're all big and chunky. They're all big beefy boys. So I don't think that narrows it down much. Okay. Isn't that like the you subscribe and you get like an army over the course of your subscription or something? Neat. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. Let's turn that off. Let's put that on. Okay. So, thank you very much to everyone who tuned in. I'm sorry I was quiet for most of the stream. That's how it is, oftentimes. Ooh, $60 a month is a lot. Yeah, so we got Magneto started. I think I'm most likely gonna do him off stream. I won't bore you guys with more chibi. So we'll probably start Uther or Sir next stream. Maybe Alana. I'm gonna think about it. One of those three. But no more bikini Magneto. Yeah, no, he's just normal underoos Magneto. So yeah, he's getting there. I like how the back of the cape's looking. I like the lighting so far. I think I need to keep pushing it, but we'll get there. Anyways, let's go find a raid. Or let's go find a stream 2 raid. Yeah, he's a priest man. Very classique. So there's that music channel we raided a while ago. Drax is also online. Let's just take a gander real quickly and see if there's anyone else. Otherwise, we're just gonna go raid Draxy. So let's see. Mini. That's browse. There we go. That's how you get there. Miniature fingers. We got Drax. We got someone else. We got me. We got. That's about it. Okay. Someone playing Elden Ring in the miniature figures tag. let's just keep it easy. Let's go raid Drax since it's been a bit. So, once again, thank you all for tuning in. I'll probably stream on Wednesday. Yeah. Unless something else happens. I don't know. Yeah, either we'll finish Magneto, or we'll start a new project, or we'll do some sculpting on the base. But good night to you as well, Crypt. Yeah, I'm doing my. We're doing date night tomorrow because we got a reservation to a restaurant we like, last minute, and then we might move Saturday to Friday again. So I'm just gonna stream on Wednesday so I have the stream in. But anyways, raid is ready. We're gonna go. See ya. No. Here's the awkward after stream part again. I'm gonna click this end stream button and we're gonna say goodbye. You can see post butt. He's splooting for you. Only you. Okay, bye.